This video describes the operation of the Cor MCB dual tank mix and delivery bicarb system. The MCB is intended to mix bicarbonate solution and distribute the solution to all points of use. The system will provide consistent bicarb mixing and thorough system cleaning and disinfection. Standard features of the bicarb system include all polyethylene tanks, mixed tank pump and separate distribution pump, automatic electric water fill for variable batch sizes, large and easy to use valve handles, and eye-level meter and controls. A separate distribution tank allows for a second batch to be mixed without interrupting the distribution of the first batch. Two 50-gallon or two 100-gallon systems are available. There are two polyethylene tanks. One is designed for mixing the bicarb powder, the mixed tank, and the other is designed for distributing the bicarb solution, the distribution tank. There are two pumps on the bicarb system. The mix pump is designed to mix bicarb powder and transfer the mixed solution to the distribution tank. The mix pump is on a timer that stops the mix pump after operating for 10 minutes. The distribution pump is designed to distribute the mixed solution to all points of use and return the solution back to the distribution tank. The mix and distribution pumps are equipped with separate flow sensors. The flow sensors are designed to sense liquid flowing through the pump. When liquid is not flowing, a signal is sent to turn the pump off. This is designed to reduce pump damage. Note, the pumps may start automatically without pressing the pump start button if the mix or distribution control panel valves are put into operation and liquid is present at the sensor. The pumps may also stop automatically without pressing the stop button if the mix or distribution control panel valves are put into the off position. A vent filter is installed on top of the mixed tank and distribution tank covers. The cartridge-style vent filter inhibits dust or other debris from entering the tank. Both tanks include a hinge cover with an O-ring seal on top of the tanks for easy access and secure closure. The mixed tank includes an eductor, which creates a swirling motion in order to properly dissolve the powder into solution. Each tank contains a spray nozzle. The spray nozzle is used for rinsing the interior or cleaning and disinfecting the tanks. The control stand is constructed of polyethylene. It's designed to hold the control panel and main operating valves. The system is equipped with 3 floats, 1 in the mixed tank and 2 in the distribution tank. They operate as follows. The mixed tank is equipped with a high-level float that closes the fill valve if the water in the tank exceeds the maximum fill level. The fill valve controller will not reactivate unless the water level is below the float level. Open valve V5 to drain excess water from the tank. The distribution tank is equipped with a low-level float that sounds an audible alarm if the bicarb in the tank drops below 38 liters or 10 gallons. The alarm is equipped with a mute, the red button mounted on the main panel that will silence the alarm or disengage it during cleaning operations. The distribution tank is equipped with a high-level float that stops any liquid transferring from the mixed tank into the distribution tank if the levels exceed the maximum fill capacity. The operator determines the specific mixed tank fill volume for the amount of bicarb to be prepared. The operator will program that fill volume into the batch meter on the front panel of the MCB. When the solenoid valve opens, water starts to fill the tank. The flow rate monitor will close the solenoid valve once the program volume has been met. The flow rate monitor is a specially designed rotary wheel at the rear of the MCB. The mix transfer pump switch starts or stops the mix transfer pump. The mix tank fill control switch starts or stops the flow of inlet water into the mix tank. The distribution pump switch starts or stops the distribution pump. The batch meter controls the inlet water into the mix tank. The low distribution alarm emits an audible low-level alarm. The mute button is used to mute all audible alarms. Note, the low-level tank alarm will sound when the level drains down. Press the mute button to silence the alarm. When the tank is empty, the distribution pump will automatically shut off. Press the mute button once again to restore the low-level alarm. The batch meter is designed to input 2 levels of purified water into the mix tank. Using SP1 for a set point low and SP2 for set point high, the batch meter gives you the ability to begin mixing a smaller amount of water with powder before adding additional volumes of water. The batch meter will save previous programmed level settings, so if the batch you want to mix is the same as the last batch, then no further changes need to be made. The meter is waterproof and does not require a cover. Warning: please read and follow all the bicarbonate powder manufacturer's instructions and labels regarding the preparation of bicarb solution. The following identifies and describes the function of each valve and test port. All valves and test port valves are labeled. V1 is the mix clean valve for the mix tank and is used in the mixing of bicarb powder and in the disinfecting of the mix tank. V2 is the mix tank transfer valve to the distribution tank and feed valve for the mix tank. V3 is the distribution tank clean and bicarb distribution loop return valve. V4 is the RO water fast rinse of tank and bicarb loop rinse. Is the drain valve for the mix tank. V6 is the drain valve for the distribution tank. V7 is the bicarb loop drain valve on the purge system. V8 is the return loop isolation valve. TP1 is the bicarb loop purge test port. TP2 is the distribution tank test port. TP3 is the mix tank test port. Warning: the bicarb system and bicarb distribution loop needs to be disinfected prior to being ready for patient use. All valves should be in the off or closed position, including drain valves V5 and V6. Confirm product water source is available and unit is plugged in. The operator needs to input 2 tank levels into the batch meter. The factory settings are as follows: SP1, 76 liters or 20 gallons for set point low. SP2, 95 liters or 25 gallons for set point high. The operator needs to determine the quantity of water that is required for the high point up to the maximum batch the tank will hold. Note, the last level setting, SP2, is the quantity of water present in the total batch size. On the batch meter, press the RST button to zero out the meter. On the batch meter, press the PAR button once. The screen flashes SP1. This is the set point low, and then displays 7.6 for the initial mix level. If the operator wants to change set point low, press the F1 up or F2 down button. Press the PAR button again. The screen displays SP2. This is the batch level setting, and then displays 9.5 for the final fill level. If the operator wants to change this set point, press the F1 up or F2 down button. Press the PAR button again. End will be displayed, and the settings are loaded. Warning: if the disinfecting procedure was used prior to a new batch of bicarb being made, a residual test should be performed prior to the initiation of the mixing cycle. Warning: bicarb system rinsing and disinfecting should not be done while the bicarb system is in use, for patients or possible harm could occur. Open the product water valve that feeds the bicarb system. Press the Mix Tank Fill Control Start button to fill the mix tank to the SP1 level. Once the SP1 level has been reached, turn V1 to Mix and V2 to Mix Clean. Make sure V2 is not placed in the transfer position. Press the Mix Transfer Pump Start button. Hold down until the light on the button illuminates and then release. The pump will begin circulating the water inside the mix tank. This activates the 10-minute mix timer so as to prevent overmixing. Open the mix tank lid and add a bag of powder slowly through the top of the mix tank. Close and seal the tank lid. Caution: if bicarb powder is added too fast or before water has been added, the pump may clog and could result in irreversible damage to the pump. Caution: be careful not to drop anything into the mix tank during this process. Press the Mix Tank Control Start button again to add the balance of water to the SP2 level. The fill valve will close when the program level is attained. The mix transfer pump is operating during this time. Allow the contents to mix for 10 minutes. The mix transfer pump will shut off automatically after 10 minutes. If additional time is required, press the Mix Transfer Pump Start button. Press the Mix Transfer Pump Stop button at any time to halt the mixing action. Once the mixing is complete, test the bicarbonate mixture per the manufacturer's specifications through TP3, the mix tank test valve, as it should be clear and without sediment. If the mixture is not to manufacturer's specifications, discard the contents, open V5, and remix another batch. Once the mixture has been verified, press the Mix Transfer Pump Stop button, turn V1 and V2 to the off position, and press the RST button on the batch meter to return the meter to 0. Proceed to bicarb transfer. Turn V2 to transfer. V1, V3, and V4 should be in the off positions. Press the Mix Transfer Pump Start button. After the bicarb is fully transferred, or if the amount of liquid exceeds the distribution tank's maximum fill capacity, the mix transfer pump will shut down automatically. Turn V2 to the off position. The transfer is complete. Note: this system is designed to allow solution to be transferred and distributed simultaneously. If this is required, V3 must remain in the distribution return position when V2 is set to transfer. Warning: never disinfect the unit while dialyzing patients, or possible harm could occur. Empty any residue that is left in the mix tank after transfer by opening V5, then close. Press the mix tank fill control start button to allow the SP1 level to enter the mix tank. Factory settings 76 liters, 20 gallons, or whatever level is desired. Once fill is completed, press the batch meter's RST button to return the meter to 0. Turn V1 to clean and V2 to mix clean. Press the mix transfer pump start button and rinse for 1 minute. Turn V1 to mix and rinse for 1 minute. Press the mix transfer pump stop button and turn V1 and V2 to the off. If this is the first time the system has been used after rinsing, the pure water from the bicarb loop must be purged out of the system to prevent the bicarb in the distribution tank from being diluted. Close V8 and open V7, and place V3 in the distribution return position. This diverts the pure water in the pipe to the drain. Pump may start automatically. If not, press the distribution pump start button and allow to run for approximately 1 to 2 minutes, and then test for the presence of bicarb at TP1. Once positive for bicarb, press the distribution pump stop button to shut the pump off. Repeat till bicarb is present at TP1. Purge each point of use to remove water from the piping connection. Place V3 in the off position. At this time, all pure water has been purged from the loop. Close valve V7 and open valve V8. To begin distributing bicarb solution through the loop, be sure that V8 is open and all other valves are closed. Place valve V3 in the distribution return position for a loop distribution of the bicarb solution. Pump may start automatically. If not, press the distribution pump start button to start the pump. To stop distributing the bicarb solution, press the distribution pump stop button and place valve V3 in the off. Disinfecting should be done every night after system operation unless proven documented results in accordance with customer policies and procedures demonstrate otherwise, so as to maintain bacteria and endotoxin levels that are in accordance with AAMI standards. It is recommended that the system be disinfected at a minimum on a weekly basis. For disinfecting, the recommended total contact time for the bicarb system is 1 hour. The disinfecting process includes introducing MinCare cold sterilant to the water in the tank to produce a 1% mixture by volume, recirculating the solution through the system, testing for positive presence at each point of use, dwelling the solution for an appropriate length of time, and rinsing. If less time, for example 30 to 45 minutes, is practiced and still maintains acceptable cultural results, then that can be used as an approved maintenance practice. However, if high culture counts are noted, then a change in the practice is required. Cor recommends that the system be rinsed every night following normal system operation. There are 3 basic steps for rinsing and disinfecting the bicarb system. Step 1. System pre-rinse, designed to rinse bicarb from the system. This procedure should be done nightly after normal operation. Step 2. System disinfecting, procedures for cleaning, disinfecting the bicarb system and distribution loop. Step 3. System rinsing procedures for rinsing out the cleaning and disinfecting solution in order to return the system to normal operation. Open valves V5, V6, and V7 to drain to make sure that the bicarb solution is drained from both tanks and loop. Valves V1, V2, V3, and V4 should be in the off position. The bicarb system is equipped with a mix and distribution tank and loop RO water fast rinse. To rinse bicarb from the system, make sure valves V5 and V6, the drain valves for both tanks, are open. After the tanks are empty, close V6 and V7 and make sure V8 is open. Turn V4 to mixed tank rinse. Rinse the mixed tank for approximately 5 minutes or until a negative result is achieved at TP3. To aid in the rinse process, turn V4 to off after 3 minutes and allow the solution that has accumulated inside the tank to completely drain. Once drained, turn V4 to mixed tank rinse to continue the rinse process. This concludes the MCB dual tank mix and delivery bicarb system clinical operation video.